I think for any cancer patient who's a parent, the second thought after the, am I going to die from this, the second thought is, what's going to happen to my children? If I do die, and if I stay well, just what's going to happen to my children while I move through treatment? The basic advice about that is to be absolutely honest with children and to speak with them in age-appropriate and honest ways. So clearly you tell a 5-year-old something different than a 12-year-old, something different than a 20-year-old as you're moving through, but you have to tell them something. I've known a few people who thought they were protecting their children by never mentioning it. But you know, children are marvelous observers and terrible interpreters of what's happening. And they surely notice the difference in the airspace at home. They notice that somebody's crying more often, or the phone's ringing, or grandma has come to stay for 2 weeks. And they need to have, you know, real explanations of what's going on. So the model that most parents know about and can use is to think about how you talk to your children about sex, and talk to your children about cancer the same way you do. Again, honest, age-appropriate, and not everything all at once. You give them sort of the headlines and the bits and pieces as you move through, but you make it clear that this is a conversation that can come up over and over again as often as necessary. It often is easier to talk to older kids not sitting in the living room, but maybe while you're driving them somewhere or taking a walk. And again, you don't need to flood them with everything. You just bring up what's going on. To casually mention at breakfast, you know, I have a doctor's appointment this afternoon and I'm kind of worried about it. And then at dinner you can report back about what happened, but just so it's seen as part of the family's daily and ongoing business. The one really important thing that I try to remember to tell parents to say to all their kids of almost any age, I promise I will tell you when it's time to worry, if it's time to worry, but this is not the time. And that promise does two things. It's a relief because 90% of the time it isn't a moment that the child really needs to worry. The future worries are adult worries. They don't need to be children's worries. But it also does promise that if a parent knows that I am going to die from this and I'm probably going to die in the relatively near future, I will tell you. You will know, there will not be surprises. You will be part of my loving you and you're loving me for as long as I'm here.